Well, my partner Lighton is not here today, but I am flying with a new partner for the day. His name is Geronomow. Hello, Geronomow.
Hey, Lelo.
So Geronomow is an ex-colleague of mine, and he's also a good friend. But we connected through work, and he is quite educated. So all this swag comes with some education. So just to give us a background, what is your educational history, and what type of work do you do?
Okay, so, hi guys. Education.
What are your qualifications?
Okay, cool. I've got a BCom degree, I've got an honors degree, and I've got an MBA.
BCom degree in what?
Yeah, I've got a BCom HR.
Oh, okay.
I've got a honors HR.
Yes.
BCom honors cum laude.
Yes.
And then I do have an MBA.
Oh, MBA.
Mm.
Why did you decide to do an MBA?
Because I want to be a boss. No, I decided to do an MBA in order for me to encapsulate basically the HR perspective as well as the business perspective. In order for the day when I become a CEO, I've got a holistic view of everything.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And you're currently an HR manager where you work, right?
For Africa, yeah.
Oh, so you're looking after different African countries?
Yeah, after 7
Okay.
African countries.
Great.
Zimbabwe, Botswana, Namibia,
I want to have a job
Malawi,
like that.
Nigeria, Uganda, Zambia. Yeah.
So that
And then 3 different business units, which is like, let's say, for instance, you've got the group in
Yes.
first round, for instance, and then an example, or let's say you look at.
No, it's fine. We
Yeah,
got
so,
the gist
yeah.
of what you do.
Yeah.
We got to understand you are very important. So, G, in your work as an HR manager and in your career as an HR person, you've come across a lot of people who are looking for work, right?
Yeah.
So, what are some of what for someone who's looking for work today? Looking for work today in 2018 is different to how you look for work in 2010, for example.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the tips that you could share for someone who's looking for employment? Let's start with the CV.
Let's start with the CV.
So, what's important to include in a CV?
Number one for me, in terms of number one, the CV doesn't need to be too long, like 10 pages and stuff like that, because I get bored quickly, so I don't have time to read all of this. Number two, I would say it needs to be clean, crisp. It needs to be detail orientated, just facts,
just the important parts. But what are these facts?
I need education, educational background, work experience, and that's it for me. And references, but references you can also provide on preference. So it's not. Once we get to that stage, we can decide, okay, cool, whether or not we want to do a reference. But for me, educational background and work experience, that's the most important part.
So also there on work experience, should I include? I was a waiter.
No, let's wait, because that does happen, eh?
Yes.
So if you draft your CV, the stuff in terms of work experience,
no, don't put it on my lap.
So in terms of work experience, I would say start with the most recent work experience. So if, let's say, we're in 2018, right? So start with 2017, 2016, and then move it down.
Yeah.
And then talk about experience relating to the role that you apply for.
Yes.
Don't tell me you were a waitress at Spur, for instance, while you're applying for a CA role.
Yeah.
I know that you are customer service orientated, obviously, but we can deal with it in the interview. All I need to know is what's your experience relating to this role in particular?
On that topic, what I say to people is that when you apply for a position, you can't just take your default CV and send it. You kind of have to go to your CV and then look at the job spec for what you're applying for, and then see, does my CV reflect that I've got the skills?
Is there a correlation between the two? Yes,
and then update it accordingly.
Yeah.
So you think I'm giving good advice?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great stuff.
Right?
Sure. Yay! Okay, great. So now I've got the CV, which is short, which is not long, and it highlights my skills, it highlights my work experience, and all of that. And do I need to include my picture?
No. I don't. I personally don't like it. I think you should be interviewed based on the qualifications, experience, and stuff like that. When I meet you in the interview, it's a different story, right? But I don't like the whole picture thing. I think it's a bit tacky. If that's right.
All right. And another question is, how do you feel about cover letters? When I send a CV through?
You know what? A lot of international companies, they actually like the whole cover letter thing, right? But for me personally, I don't really like it because I don't read it. You know, because you can tell
I
me
also
you're a
don't
friendly and a
agree with
kind person. I really don't care.
Mm.
We'll deal with that. I'll get to know that. But for me, it's like, are you able to deliver on the requirements of the job? That for me is the most important.
Okay, well, that's an interesting perspective because there's a lot.
Do
of
you like
advice.
them?
I don't. To be quite honest, I don't read them. To be quite honest, I don't read them. And the only reason why I still like when people ask me about cover letters, I say, you know what, it's up to you. If you want to do it, do it. Because there's this other girl that I know who got a job simply because she didn't just send her CV as an attachment. She actually wrote a cover letter as part of the email to the recruiting manager, and the recruiting manager liked that.
I guess it's like it depends on whoever views your CV. I guess,
and I also kind of think that there isn't one formula for doing things when it comes to recruitment and looking for a job. Different recruiters look for different things, but there are core things that have to make.
You know what? If I could give anybody an advice, or if I had to apply for a job, I don't want to do a CV anymore. I know we have to, but I would literally ask the recruiter to refer to my LinkedIn profile, for instance. You know, that's so much more easier.
Because your LinkedIn profile, you can download it as a PDF. And
you can download it as a PDF, or you can literally apply. There's sometimes options like apply with your CV, upload your own CV, or send LinkedIn link. You know, so I would rather prefer that because it's so much easier. It's current, it's clean, and that's why it's important to keep your LinkedIn updated. Okay. You see?
And then, well, I'm off LinkedIn, by the way, because I was so tired of DMs that have nothing to do with work. It became a Facebook. Anyway, on another note. So now that you've done your CV and you get an interview, let's talk about the interview. What are some of the shocking things that people should have, or that you've seen, or the do's and don'ts in interviews?
Okay, let's start with that. You know what? Whenever somebody or a business advertises a role, right? So they're looking for a particular person, right? So don't be nervous when you come to the interview. Obviously, you've got something to offer.
But you
for
can't
this
help
company.
it. I
Me too. But however, I would advise people not to, because when you're comfortable, you are able to do more and say more and sell yourself better. You know. And in terms of do's and don'ts, do be honest, because if you don't know certain things, just say, okay, cool, I haven't worked with that before, so however, I'm willing to learn. I can do that, because once you're in the role, I'm the type of guy, like, if you told me in an interview you can do this, and the other, I will ask you, do this for me, because in the interview you said you'll be able to do that. And the second thing is, I think, be prepared, number one.
Research, just read up on the
company, where they're from, turnover, head count, things like that, as well as
the actual job spec. The job spec. The ad itself.
Read the job spec, because like, for instance, you might see a role for a CA, for instance, right? So you just see it's a CA, but meanwhile the role might be in financial management division as opposed to financial controllership, right? Just to give you an example. So a lot of people come for interviews and they know how exactly to do this job, but as a CA, you cover different facets of the role. So you need to literally read the spec, guys. Just read the spec. That's it. And another dress up, guys. Like, come ready, come prepared, because and I know I will sound a bit old-fashioned or whatever, but like, first appearances still do count. And it's your brand. It's your brand.
Some effort into how you look.
And I don't expect people now to come with their Hugo Boss suits.
I once went to an interview in a dress like this. Oh my God, that's the biggest regret of my life. I don't know what I was thinking, but hey.
But be it as it may, Lelo. Sorry for your dress, though.
I didn't get the job.
Just be ready. Prepare for the interview. Be confident in yourself. Trust yourself. That's the thing. Trust yourself, because you are the one that holds this knowledge. That's their one thing.
Yes, and when it comes to answering questions, people sometimes go on and on and on and on, and you see that you've lost the interviewer's interest, but you just carry on and on and on. I think people, when you're asked a question in the interview, answer straight
to the point.
Don't be going wolololo. There was a guy that I once interviewed, and he started telling us about how he knows and whatever. I'm like, it doesn't matter if you know Somizi. We are not about that at corporate, It doesn't really matter who you know or who you're friends with.
It's also with experience. Like, you get different levels of interviews depending on the level of role you apply for,
Yes.
as well as the stage in your life that you're at. So as a graduate, like, I remember how I was interviewed. I had a great interview. The lady that I reported to at that stage, they literally came down to my level to understand, okay, cool, what did you study?
Yes.
What did you learn from these modules? How do you think you're going to
translate that?
put it together in the real world, right? And then the more you get senior, like the more senior roles you apply for, it becomes easier in some instances or more difficult, alright? So for instance, my last interview that I had for this job that I currently hold, it was 6 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday morning, actually, because of our diaries, we couldn't. So 6 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday morning.
That's where I lose the job.
I got there. I won't forever forget this. I got there, met the guy and the lady, CEO and the HR lady, and then it was a conversation. So what do you do?
I like that. I like that. Like, interviews should be a conversation. So don't go there all nervous, and just try there and have a conversation so that they get to know you. Exactly. And you get to know them as well. And whether it's I know we don't always have the luxury to choose organizations, but also to check is this the kind of place where I want to come to every day.
Where you can relate to, like, because you're going to spend 8 hours anyway, then so you might as well enjoy it. So what I'm saying is,
just come prepared.
Come prepared.
Have a conversation.
Know yourself, guys. Like, and there's whole and no.
Yeah, but look, okay, nerves you can't help. But I also think it's okay to tell them that you are nervous.
Ask for water. It works.
Yeah. Okay. So now that you've done the interview, people always ask me, is it important for me to call and follow up when I don't get a response, or to send a thank you? Because when you read online, they say send a thank you email.
For me, it's like, it's a personal thing. You know, some people want to know what's happening. It's like, it's a stupid thing. Can I make an example? Somebody doesn't respond to your DM or your WhatsApp, you get upset. It's like, what's happening? Right?
Yeah.
I took time out of my diary to do something for you, or go for this interview with you. However, you now treating me ill.
Okay. So all right. Any last minute?
All I'm saying is, okay, cool. Come prepared. Know yourself. Be confident. Read up. Be honest. Ask questions. Like, don't just, when the interview is done now, the panel will ask you, is there any questions you would like to ask? And you're like, nah, I'm good. No.
Just come prepared.
You need to ask why is this role vacant? Yes. What do you think I have to offer for this role? What specifically
are you looking for
that the predecessor might have lacked? What's the strategy of the business, and how do you see this role aligning to that? You know? So work on stuff like that, That's last cool. minute.
Thank you so much, G. I think this is good advice. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Peace.
What's that?